Hi there, I'm Amanda Castor with Material Girl Quilts. Today I'm going to show you how to make this Cottage Path quilt. Now for this quilt I chose to use this beautiful fat quarter bundle of denim florals by Liberty Fabrics, and I paired it with this lovely Oxford blue shade of confetti cottons by Riley Blake Designs. This quilt is beautiful and it comes together with two different quilt blocks. We have a block A and a block B. Both of those blocks are made with half square triangles and then just solid squares, and I'm going to show you how to make those half square triangles in each of the blocks. As a reminder, if you are a member of Material Girl Society, you will get access to the PDF pattern for this quilt and all patterns in the library, as well as each new one that's released every month. If you aren't a member, please head to my website, materialgirlquilts.com, and click on the membership in the top menu bar to learn more. Now another great thing about this pattern is that there are 5 quilt sizes included. So if you don't like the size that I made for mine, you can adjust and make one that'll suit your needs. So let's get started. Okay, the first thing you're going to do is determine how many squares you need to cut depending on the finished quilt size that you're going to make. So from each fat quarter you're going to cut a number of 4-inch squares and 3.5-inch squares. Now, all of the 4-inch squares that you cut, you're going to pair with 4-inch squares from your background fabric to create half square triangles. So to make those, we're going to place them right sides together and draw a line on one diagonal, and you're going to sew 1/4 inch on either side of that line. Now once you've sewn on either side of the line, you're going to cut apart directly on your drawn line. Now I obviously will do all of these on my cutting mat with my rotary cutter, but we'll just use my scissors here. And that will give you 2 half square triangles. And when you press these, you're going to press towards the background fabric. Or if your background fabric is white and you prefer to press towards the darker fabric, if your prints are dark, just press towards the dark is fine. And once these are all pressed, you're going to trim them to measure 3.5 inches square. And I just want to show that my favorite ruler for trimming half square triangles is the block ruler, and I will include a link to this in the video description. But I like it because if you press to one side for your half square triangles, it locks perfectly on your seam when you go to trim it, so you can trim it to exactly the size that you need. So you will repeat this process for all of your 4-inch squares to create your half square triangles and trim them all to 3.5 inches square. Okay, now once you have trimmed all of your half square triangles, we have 2 different blocks that we're going to make. So this is block A, and for block A you're going to need 4 matching half square triangles and then 4 3.5-inch squares of the same fabric and 1 background square. And we're going to sew these, you lay them out as shown, and then we're going to sew them into rows and then sew the rows together to complete the block. So here are all of our completed rows, and we are going to press on this block. We're going to press away from the background fabric in the center, so we're going to press towards the solid towards the print squares. So in the center row it will be pressed out, and in the top and bottom rows they will be pressed in. And here is a completed block that shows you how we press those. So again, you're going to press towards the print fabrics. So in on the top and bottom and out in the center row. And then once you sew the rows together to complete your block, you're going to press in towards this center row of the block. So here's your finished block. This will measure 8.5 inches. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to make block B. So for block B, you're going to need a total of 6 matching half square triangles and 3 background 3.5 inch squares. You're going to lay them out as shown, and once again, we're going to sew them into rows and then sew the rows together to complete the block. Okay, so here are our rows, and again, on this block, we're actually gonna press in the opposite directions. So the top row will be pressed out and the center row pressed in. So top and bottom out and center pressed in. And here is an example of a finished block. So again, top and bottom are out, center is in, and on this block B, we press towards the top and bottom rows. Once the rows are sewn together. So we press out towards the top and bottom, like the other one we pressed in towards the center. And here is a sample of a completed B block. Now you'll follow the pattern instructions to determine how many A and B blocks you need for your desired quilt size. Once all of your blocks are done, you're going to lay them out according to the quilt layout diagram shown, alternating between A and B blocks. Follow the pattern instructions to let you know how many blocks per row and how many rows you'll need for your desired quilt size. Once you have all of your blocks sewn into rows and then the rows sewn together to complete the center of your quilt top, we need to add the borders. For this quilt, we have 2 borders. The first inside border is cut from 2.5 inch by width of fabric strips. You'll piece them together to create borders and attach the side borders first and then the top and bottom borders. And then the outside border is created from 4.5 inch by width of fabric strips pieced together to first add again the side borders and then the top and bottom borders. Now, as you can see, there's a lot of options with this quilt pattern depending on which size you'd like to make, but I also think that these 2 blocks play together beautifully. I do want to be honest though and share with you a little mishap that I had while making this quilt. So one of my blocks within the one of my B blocks within this quilt is facing the wrong direction, and I didn't realize it until after I had the whole quilt top assembled, including the borders, and I was taking some photos. So when I took the photos and then I saw it, I had to stop and think, can I live with it, or do I need to rip out that block and redo it? I decided for this quilt I can live with it. One, because of just it kind of is a little bit busier quilt with all the different blocks and the different prints. If it were a different quilt pattern, I probably would have changed it. And I think if you do the same thing and make a mistake like that, you know, all of us obviously make mistakes, but you just have to decide for yourself, can I live with it? And if you can't, then get that seam ripper out and get it fixed. But if you can, then let it stay and no one else will probably ever notice. Now, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please make sure you click the like button and subscribe so you don't miss any tutorials going forward. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.